you, even Holly, Emily, I feel like I watched you guys growing up, but that's impossible.
What is it like meeting everybody?
Yeah, oh, it's so insane. Like Brickworld Chicago was absolutely insane. And I was just thinking about how I was like, hey, you know, like I'm a huge fan. Like, do you think I could like take a picture? And I was saying, I'm in land with Emmasaurus. I pulled that card. I pulled it.
The land card with Emily.
I had no idea if he was leaving. I was like, I have to make it happen. But if you find the videos, compare them. I'll let you guys, you know, I'll let you be the judge. This guy has done this before to other creators, has gotten copyright strikes, and that he's done it to me now.
When you did that, all of us were like, no!
I know. They were all together.
No!
Yeah.
Okay, if he's writing a college paper, his thesis and his introduction is completely forged.
Yeah,
it's plagiarized, the whole thing, right? So immediately it's an F. In the end of the day, respect is a lot of things, right? And he pretty much lost it with a lot of creators. And
my respect for him is lower, you know, but he could earn it back. Like anyone can earn my respect back over time. Say I would love to like fake Lego. I just can't. I can't.
K-Town Bricks is not fake Lego.
It's fake Lego.
It's not fake Lego. It complements Lego.
Like maybe pieces. I already got some like fake pieces.
Oh, they're not fake.
They're fake.
They're Lego.
Fake pieces.
It's made by Lego, printed on top of it.
Good to go. Is this the part where you have laid the music over?
Yeah, that's happening right now.
Nice.
Come along with shy as we take this ride to recovery. Time is every time.
Good. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Thanks for letting me invite myself over, dude. Like I said, everybody else, I literally forced myself in here because you wanted to record somewhere else.
Nah, man, I'm happy you're here. I was saying you're the first you're the first Lego person I've ever had in the room. So you get to see everything. I changed batteries for the lights and everything. So
this is not a sponsorship by Light My Bricks. You can shout to Kenny though.
It can be though. It
can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is cool. I love really going to people's spaces. I mean, it's cool because this is where you do all your work. This is the stuff that I see online, especially on your reels and shorts and stuff like that. Like I see this at least once a day.
Yeah.
At least once a day.
Every other day. That's what I try for.
Well, it's not just that. It's because it's sponsored content sometimes.
True.
And then like it just pops up on my personal Instagrams or my 5 other accounts. Like you pop up like, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So yeah, but again, thank you for allowing me to come through. You got to make it to my house one day, dude. We don't live that far.
No.
It's just 2 hours.
It's less than that. I think from me to you, it's a little less. Just if I go at the right time, probably like an hour and a half.
The timing on that freeway is kind of rough.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually. My wife and I didn't get married too far from here. Like we got married in Oak Glen.
Oh yeah. What? I always go there.
Yeah,
for
I love that place. Apple picking.
Yeah.
So we got married in one of those spots over there.
Okay,
so
nice.
We discovered the area, and to be real, I think if we're going to buy another home, this is the area. Not this specifically, but like this side of the freeway is where we want to be.
It's really nice.
Yeah, just because we can afford it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, where I am, it's like a blue zone. It's where people live the longest. There's like 5 places in the world that have people like that, centurions, people who live past 100. So we have a lot of like elderly homes and stuff. And everyone's like either 90 to like, we've had people up to like 107, you know, so
dude,
you'll live a long time.
I'll live a long time, especially in California, right?
Exactly.
Oh man, but it's cool. Again, thank you for having me. So, you know, you haven't really been in any other stuff, so I'm sure people know who you are. Anyways, I discovered you. I remember exactly when I discovered you.
Really? Okay.
I was at In-N-Out, right? I was waiting in line as we do, like in the driving wait, whatever.
Yeah.
So I already ordered my food, and I'm just on my phone, and then your short came up, one of them. I don't remember exactly which one, but your shorts came up. I'm like, who's this guy? Brickmaster Harri.
Yeah.
He's full of himself by calling himself Brickmaster, but whatever. Let's really see if he's a Brickmaster.
Yeah.
It's like, because the name is what intrigued me.
Yeah.
Obviously, your personality was enough for me to care.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So, and then I clicked on it. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's cool. And this is during like COVID time.
Oh, okay.
Like post-COVID time. Like everyone's kind of getting back into it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he does a lot of shorts. Cool. Hey, he does a good job. Follow, like immediately.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, or subscribe.
I do remember when you followed me because there was, for some reason, it's kind of wild because I got into Lego again around like 2021.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was watching videos. I think the first time I really watched one of your videos was trying to find any local, like,
people?
Well, no, not even people, local conventions in the LA area.
Yeah.
You posted a Bricks LA thing.
Oh, dude, that's an old video. I'm embarrassed.
No. It was good. I mean, you were with your son,
yeah,
right?
It was my son,
yeah. And I like watched that and I was like, okay, cool. There's a convention in LA because like I want to build a mock. I want to build Kashyyyk, like Star Wars thing.
Oh, hardcore.
So yeah, and then I was like, okay, LA, the thing isn't there anymore. They stopped doing it. So then I'm like, oh, let's go to Brickfest Live.
Oh no.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know what that is, you don't want to know.
No,
Just don't go. Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
They do have, or in the past they've done a full version of that. Like all the other ones do. Because all the other conventions have like, they're mostly expos and they have one, like Brickworld. They have one, adult fan community one. They had one too. It was called Brickfest Live Philly. So that's where all the YouTubers went before Virginia and Chicago so much. So that's where they all went there.
Okay.
And then I don't know what happened after
Well, you know, what I was going to say is that it seems so weird. Like you, even Holly, Emily, I feel like I watched you guys growing up, but that's impossible. It's impossible because, you know, you started right around like what, 2019, 2018?
Oh, you've done your history.
Well, I just remember I'm a huge fan of the show, you know, so I listened. But it's weird because I feel like I've watched you guys. I grew up with like The Brick Show or, Brick Queen, funny enough.
Wow.
Yeah. So I watched all them and you guys just seemed like you fit right in. So meeting you guys all in person, it's like, I've been watching you, but not really. Like, when I was adult, like that's when I watched you. So it's just trippy how that comes in my head.
You've been a Lego fan for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do know what you're talking. Like, I mean, as far as like Emily, Holly, myself, and everybody else that you have come close to meeting at this point.
Yeah.
And we all love you. So keep doing your thing.
Thanks.
So we got really close like during the pandemic time. Like we all kind of did our own thing, and because everyone was locked down, we started streaming a lot together. Like just having, because we wouldn't turn on like the StreamYard. Hang out. You know what I mean?
That's fun.
Same thing now. Now we have Discord and stuff like that.
Right.
So that's how we got close. And then one day we were like, let's just all meet up once. And then that's how that friendship began.
Sick.
And you've seen the photo that we took that you were a part of at Chicago. Like, like the first photo was just like, and then
I went back and looked at it. Yeah. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
And it just keeps growing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we'll get into Chicago in a second.
There's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we were having this conversation now and not later.
Yeah.
And you know, rewind a little bit. I was really happy when I found out you're in SoCal. Like, there's not that many like content creators out here that are doing the grind at all. I mean, there's a few that are notable. There's a lot that are trying.
NKM Brick, shout out NKM.
He's like 2 hours north from.
Hey, he's still in California. We'll count it.
And he's not leaving.
He's not leaving.
He's not leaving. Yes. Shout out to Michael. And you've been up there, right?
No.
You haven't?
No. I want to.
He has a great house.
Dude, I've seen clips and stuff on Discord and I'm like, dang, I got to make it out.
You have to. The drive, I mean, driving through Central Cali is not fun.
Yeah. But
you definitely need to make a trek to pay the homage. There's some really good Mexican food over there.
Okay.
All right. So going back to it, what is your Lego story, man? Or story in general?
Yeah, well, just grew up with Lego. Shout out to the grandma. You know, she put me on. And I remember building, you would know this, the Kingdoms, like the buildable figures.
Oh yeah, Kingdoms 2, right?
Kingdoms 2. Well, it was like 1, 2, and 3.
Sure.
Yeah, but I remember building all those, and those are my favorites. So I remember the set.
Really?
Yeah.
The buildable ones?
Yeah, I never had the sets. I had the buildable figures.
With the giant shields?
Yeah.
You still have those?
No, I sold them all with my Bionicle, and then, you know, I wish I had them all. Anyways, though, the red one, I forget his name. He had the bear shield, and from the series 1, he was the one I like. Remember, I would always build him with my grandpa, and you know, one day he was outside and I'm like, I just don't want to wait for him. So I just started building it. I was like, I put it together by myself. So that was, I like remember that feeling, you know? So then as a kid, I would always my grandma, like every Christmas or birthday would be like a bigger set, like an $80 thing. And then throughout my life, like if we're going through Target and I'm like, oh, I want a battle pack so Star Wars always resonated. And that's why my content is pretty Star Wars heavy. But other than that, like YouTube, Forest Fire, The Brick Show, The Brick Queen. This one guy named Bill in Red. I don't know if anyone like remembers him.
That was way before my time.
Okay, probably. Yeah, you were probably in your dark age.
Yeah.
Right?
Hardcore. All this talk is in my dark age.
Okay. Well, interesting, because that's my golden age. So it was around, like 2006 to 2012 was like my peak. And then after that, I kind of like just started fading as we all do.
That was my military career from 4 to 12.
Yeah, thank you for your service publicly.
Appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. But then, high school kind of fell out, and then college happened, and then, quickly speaking, like once I met Brittany, my girlfriend of 4 years, like I felt more comfortable just to be like, who I am. I was always trying to pull off that like skater surfer aesthetic.
I mean, you still have the skater surfer aesthetic.
Yeah, it's part of me. Yeah, it's part of me. But like, I remember trying to really like this girl I really liked, and I'm trying to show that off like on TikTok and stuff, you know, doing the voiceover or the, you know, the trending stuff with that aesthetic. And then once I finally got her, I'm like, psych, like I'm going to build Lego now.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah, exactly. So it's something I always talk about, and people make fun or, you know, laugh about how often I bring up Brittany, but I think it's like an important thing for me to show. It's like in a relationship, you know, it's cool just to show off like we're young, I can build Lego, like we can still be a great working couple, and she respects what I do, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're not hiding it. Like, you want to tell other people that there's nothing wrong with building Lego. You can still find a relationship out there.
Exactly.
Do it. I mean, recently you posted a video of you skateboarding, swishing your Lego.
Yeah.
I loved it so much. I'm like, well, that's you. Like, that video is a good representation of who you are.
Yeah.
Because you're a skater.
Yeah.
Like, you're going figure eights around whatever neighborhood you're at, and then you're swishing a Lego set. Like, that's pretty dope.
It's fun. It's fun. But I always try to weave some of my personal life into it, you know.
As you should, because that kind of, you know, you're not unreachable. You're more, you're showing a little bit of yourself, and that's always a good thing.
But same with you is like, I respect, it's always cool to meet people that like show their real personalities over the camera. It's like you and I, maybe we put on a little voice for our shorts. You know,
hardcore.
Okay. So a hardcore voice.
I do. I don't talk like that normally.
Well, no, but I mean, you still, you know, it's like what you say is like meeting you in person. Cause I was talking to someone the other day about it. You know, shout out to like Emily, but like her content's so successful, but you know, she'll like, you know, be a little more animated on the cell phone and make it look really entertaining. And it is, of course. But meeting her, like, you know, she's not always like super animated like that.
What is that like?
Yeah.
I'm looking at just not putting a pin on it because I want to, before I forget this. What is it like meeting everybody? Yeah.
Oh, it's so insane. Like Brickworld Chicago was absolutely insane. And I was just thinking about how it's like peak Lego experience for me, but it probably won't be like that again because I've met everyone. But this was the time where I met so many people that I've always watched, or I feel like I've watched. And, you know, like I've talked to, shout out to Caleb, the CPA, right? I've talked to them a lot. And
homies.
then, they're like, oh, you're going to meet all these people. So I'm meeting you again. Like,
it took us like to go to Chicago to find you.
I know, seriously. But still, it was just absolutely insane. I mean, there's so many people I got to meet, especially, I mean, like TD Bricks too, and Sacred, so cool to meet.
It was cool to watch you guys fanboy over them.
Yeah, no, like Michael was seriously fanboy. Yeah. Oh, you know what was crazy though? I mean, I talk about this all the time, but meeting Miles Turner, you know, NBA Pacers center.
That was crazy to see. Everybody, like everyone geek over him for sure.
Dude, so insane. Like I'm a huge basketball fan, like since 2017, because I played and like I was getting into it, so I watched NBA. And when he started posting his Lego stuff, I was like, that guy. When I'm on the Celtics, I'm a huge Celtics fan. And every time he'd show up in the playoffs this year, I'd be like, Mom, Dad, look, that's the Lego guy.
He's
like,
the Lego guy.
I was
that's
like,
how we refer to him.
Yeah, I said, hopefully I can meet him he was at Comic-Con San Diego last year. And I was like, oh, maybe I can go and meet him. And then he was at Brickworld, and I sprinted to find him. And
you're not the only one. Man. Everybody wanted. I think I saw like at least 50 photos with him. Yeah. And the thing is, the best part about Miles Turner being there is that he geeked out with all of us. Yeah. Like he was all open to talking Lego. Like a lot of people did bring up some basketball to him, but I think he was more happier talking to Lego, like the Lego spiel, than he was basketball. Yeah. And I feel bad because I ran up and I didn't know if he was on his way out. Like it was just Emily and Ross told me he was there. So I sprinted and I found him and I went up and families were walking by and looking at him. So I didn't know if he was not taking photos. So I just walked up and I was like, hey, you know, like I'm a huge fan. Like, do you think I could like take a picture? And I was saying, I'm in land with Emmasaurus. I pulled that card. I pulled it. The land card with Emily. I had no idea if he was leaving. I was like, I have to make it happen. But I feel Thanks, Emily. Yeah, thank you. But I feel bad because like other people were just talking to him, like just having full on conversations. And I was like, oh, I already spent my little time with him. I don't want to go back up and, you know, take other people's time. So hopefully I get to see him again. Like, I'm sure he enjoyed it. Yeah. So yeah. He did. He'll come back. Yeah. Mad respect for him. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Again, watching everybody fanboy over him. Like it didn't matter how big you were as a content creator. Everybody wanted, because he definitely showed up everybody coming through. Yeah. Like, even TD couldn't like not resist going up to him. Yeah. So what is it like meeting, like, because you just mentioned it right now, like Emily's not as bubbly as she puts herself out to be. When she's with us, she's very reserved, very quiet. Like occasionally she'll come up and say something crazy, and then after that she kind of goes back. She's not as bubbly as she puts out to be. And let me take that back. She's a very bubbly person in general. but she's not always on like that.
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah. It's just, it's an entertainment thing, which,
Yeah.
you know, like that's why I think she'll do, and other people who do more of that style will go far in life, just other than Legos, like acting or voiceover or anything, you know? But yeah, I mean, there's a couple other people like that I met. Everyone was so cool. There's like no real standouts because everyone stood out so much. Tiago was super cool to meet. I'm Tiago's number 2 fan in the world. Yeah, because number 1 was taken. Someone wrote that on a brick, apparently.
You could just do it this time around.
Well, it's a joke now. It's like number 2. That's all I get. So, but I got to sit next to him at a dinner. Like no one was taking that spot. We were all nervous, and I just walked up and I'm like, I'll do it. You know, let's do it. And then we asked him about Bionicle, and he said it wasn't real Lego. So that me and CPA were like, oh my gosh, you know, because that was my childhood too. Anyways, Tiago is probably the most standout. Like just crazy talking to him, you know, from across the country or just a whole different country, you know.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, that's a memory I'll take for sure. And then it's exciting just to be friends with everyone now. And like next year will be even better, you know, just because we all know each other now.
You don't have to break down that, you know, barrier of like trying to like introduce something to first a good impression.
We can get straight to the T.
Yeah,
straight to the good stuff.
Straight talking trash.
Yeah, exactly. No.
Going to conventions, like I've 3rd year going to Chicago, I've met pretty much everybody that goes to Chicago. So it's very rare for me to find someone new. And when someone new comes out, I want that feeling again. Like, yes, finally, we've known each other for this long, no matter how long it is. And now we're finally able to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I recommend anyone going to Chicago to go, you know, if they're thinking about it, like just go check it out.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to come up and say hi to anyone. Be respectful. Don't be a creep. I always got to put that in there too. And just have fun and have a good time. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Are you going back?
Oh, for sure. I was going to go to Brickworld Grand Rapids, and then this thing with Bricks Minifigs came up. So I'm working for them. But I'm unfortunately not going to be there. I wish I could.
You're not going to Grand Rapids?
No. Are you?
It's probably sad. No.
Okay, no. Yeah.
Not this time around. I got to... You know, I got to lug all this around. I mean, if I want to go, but if I go, I know I'm going to be like, I need to sauce it up with everybody over there.
Yeah,
CPA. True. I can't ignore Caleb. Like, I want to do one with him. And I want to do it in their space.
Yeah.
Like, I could have recorded everybody, like, at Chicago if I really wanted to, but then it'll be the same background.
You basically did, bro. You did how many?
I did 7. Like 6 or 7. Oh, no, I did. So I did... Yeah, 7.
Wow.
But the 3 of them out of the 7 weren't at Chicago, like in the room. I went to their places. So the key is to have this background, you know, your personal space, and that's the premise, right? Idea in my head. Yeah. And if we all have the same background, it wouldn't be as cool.
True.
So
True that.
I have a lot of friends that I would love to put on a show right now, but I want to go there. So I'm trying to wait until the opportunity arises for me to go to Caleb's house. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or Florida, where you were just at.
True. Yeah, a lot of people in Florida
knock everybody out on one trip. So it's a very opportunistic type of, you know, show, which kind of sucks at the same time, but it makes it all the better when I finally get to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And as a Lego fan, I mean, from me and everyone else in the community, we thank you for doing this. It's so cool. Yeah, it's so cool.
I'm enjoying it that people are loving it. And which brings to like why I'm here. So something's recently happened to you. And I have my own words about it. And you know, I am angry for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I can see the disrespect too. So yeah, let's just get right to it. You know, for everyone who's here for this reason alone, let's just give it to you on a silver platter, and then we'll get back to just hanging out.
Okay. Well, first I'll preface like this whole thing. I grew up with 2 sisters, so it's kind of fun. Like, you know, I just like drama sometimes. It's fun. It's fun. So at first when this whole thing was going on, I'm like, whatever, like cool. I mean, cool. I can post about it. It's whatever. But then after a while, I was like, okay, this is getting like too much. Okay. So with that being said, like basically what happened was 6 months ago, I made a video titled "Adult Fans of Lego Have Issues." Okay, talking about, you know, FOMO, collecting Lego in today's space, just YouTube, like all that type of stuff. One of my better performing videos.
Oh, it did really well.
Yeah, good video. Yeah, thank you. So then, basically, like I was watching The Bachelorette. I think The Bachelorette was on right now. Yeah, I was watching it with Britt and her cousin in Florida. And then I'm like going on my phone and I like see this video suggested, and it's called "Adult Fans of Lego Have Serious Issues." One word difference. So I was like, okay, interesting. And it's by Jedi Bricks. And this person that makes videos on YouTube, he in the past has like ripped off some other people's videos for sure. Like I know there's this one creator he ripped off who like got some sets early, and then Jedi Bricks would take that same kind of short and speed it up like 2 times and then just add his own voiceover and then title it new sets in hand, right? So it's like very vague of like, okay, it's in my hand, and then wouldn't even credit the creator. Okay, so there's stuff like that in the past that me and a couple other people have called him out on, and he's very like no, I'm in line with fair use and all that. Okay, so put a pin in that because that statement is going to come up a lot more in this conversation. So anyways, I clicked this video, like first 10 seconds sound really familiar. And I was like, that sounds just like mine. Interesting. So then I keep watching, couldn't even get through the whole minute. I like rush upstairs, get my laptop, turn on my video, like side by side. I was like, there's no way. Like this is, so legally speaking, okay, not the same script word for word, but think of someone, a really like say a bad student in school wants to copy someone else's, thing. And then they switch up words here and there, but it's the same thing. And the teacher can easily tell. Like that's what happened basically, in my opinion, right? The 2 videos are out there now. His title on his video has changed since then because I guess it wasn't doing as well. He wanted to change the title. So now it's a big, long thing. But if you find the videos, compare them. I'll let you guys, I'll let you be the judge of if it sounds familiar or not. From that point, I went on my story, talked about how this guy has done this before to other creators, has gotten copyright strikes, and that he's done it to me now, that it's inappropriate. It's just demeaning almost. I mean, I know my video and other videos, yours can inspire people, but it's not good practice to like take a script and adjust words. Even though like, sure, maybe he's in line with fair use according to him, that's just boring, lazy content. And I don't think that should be allowed in the space because it sets a precedent that anyone can go on and copy, one of your videos and just call it their own. So anyways, said all that in my Instagram, basically. I blocked him on Instagram right away, and I haven't been in contact with him since. He's been trying to get a hold of me, supposedly. But in some different group chats, people started sending me DMs being like, yo, this guy's like talking about you, basically running his mouth. And yeah, I mean, he basically calling me different things, saying I'm privileged being in land, like I'm wealthy, I have it easy, right? Like I have a huge ego or small ego. What is it? Yeah, small ego. Like I get offended easily. And then he brought my girlfriend Brittany up, saying that like I use her as OnlyFans type content and use her to grow my channel. And this is all, basically abbreviated statements from different quotes I have, like screenshots of. So I have on my phone, it's all real stuff he said, not to me, but he said them to other people. And everyone has been sending me screenshots. Creators are DMing me, like you DM me. Everyone's like, bro, like this guy's done it before. Like he's doing it to you. That's so messed up. So I'm definitely feeling the love from the community. But to finish up like this whole saga, I submitted a copyright strike, and then it went through. So his video got taken down. And then from that point, like I posted about it and being like, we won, like community has won. And then he sent me like this long email, and to people's interpretations, how they view this thing, he basically said like his uncle's a lawyer, they have good ground to stand on, and that like he's in line with fair use, and that they're going to submit a counterclaim, making it a real legal issue. And like after they submit that, if it gets approved, like they're going to take me to court, and I'm going to have to submit all my evidence. And then the only thing he was saying, like, I'm going to do this in 48 to 24 hours. Like, I'm going to submit my evidence. So you just have that much time to take down your copyright claim, and then I won't be in contact with you or prepare to go to court. Now, a lot of this, everyone's telling me like, bro, BS, like there's no way. And I have no idea. He talks a lot of stuff. But I was like, look, I'm on vacation. I'm the type of guy who gets stressed out just thinking someone's trying to take me to court, even if it's all BS. I was like, you know what? Like, it's not worth it. The video is not going to do that good for you. Like I just took down my copyright claim. And from that point, I posted on my story and just said, look, like, here's what happened. And then that was the end of it. And then he sent me another email basically being like,
pause. When you did that, all of us were like, no.
I know. They were all together.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was on phone calls with I was talking to Firebird Caleb. I was talking to Claire. I was talking to Ross, Michael. I'm sure you got your opinion in there, but everyone was telling me, fight it. And like, long story short, it's just, it's not as simple as a process as it seems. And I learned that. And it's just, I did not want to lose sleep over it. And even if I did have grounds, it's like,
money.
The fact of the matter is, like, even just the scare for me, and call me a wimp, call me whatever, I'm over it. I'm just like, look, call me that, whatever. The fact is, I wasn't going to submit a copyright strike until everyone was telling me to, and I did. And then I was like, okay, I didn't know it'd be like this over this video that like you clearly were inspired by. And then, another thing is like, I mean, after he was called out, he actually like put my tag in the description, was like, shout out to him. But he did that only after we all called him out. So then he sent me like a huge email again being like, okay, I'm glad you saw like what I was saying and that you took down your copyright strike. You're a good guy. And hopefully if we ever see each other, it's on good terms. I just was inspired by your video, blah, blah, blah. I just leave it. Again, I haven't replied to any emails. 8 days later, a couple days ago, he sends me another one. He's like, wow, your silence speaks volumes. You should be very careful being a land member. It was just like a 1 paragraph thing. And I was like, what is this guy still thinking about me after 8 days?
I mean, it's flattering.
It is. I mean, what's the quote? The biggest form of flattery is imitation. And I was going to comment. I was like, if imitation is the biggest form of flattery, you must love me because this video sounds just like mine, you know. Anyways, that's what happened. Haven't talked to him officially, just over the stories. Appreciate everyone in the community for, you know, hitting me up and like going along with me through this, but there's no room for that in the community.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right, so there's a lot there.
A
lot there for me to digest and comment on. For one, if anyone would bring up my family outside of myself to me, it's all.
Yeah.
My gloves are off now.
Yeah.
To bring up your significant other, to bring up my children. Yeah. Oh, dude, that's not something like low blows for no reason, right? And he got called out, like simply called. It was, you put a 1-to-1 video together, like it's not like eerily similar. It's the exact same thing. And I remember when you did that, immediately I thought ChatGPT. He's using ChatGPT. So he's using that to script, right?
Now, credit though, because again, I'm sure he's going to be looking for any way to attack me after this, but credit to him. There was certain moments where he would speak about his own life, you know, but that's what I would do in a high school paper is like, okay, let's split things up so the teacher can't recognize. But
again, you're bringing up the college part of it, right? Writing a paper, right? Because I was also thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, if he's writing a college paper, his thesis and his introduction is completely forged. It's plagiarized, the whole thing, right? So immediately it's an F. It's an F paper. Like you can't use that. Like I've gotten in trouble once before, like using, the technology, well, before ChatGPT, you have to submit your paper into turn it in. So I remember not doing the correct oh my gosh, what's the format? Not MLA, the other one. The science one.
ACA?
That sounds wrong. But APA. So, so I didn't do the proper APA format as far as like quotations, right? Yeah. So my paper got flagged because I just didn't I put the period after the quote, right? You're supposed to put it before. Yeah. So I still remember that. But that is enough to flag, right? And that will get you in huge trouble. And I'm thinking, like, listening to him say the same exact thing over, like just even if it's in sections, is enough for
and same images. He used like the same, like very similar, if not the same images for a lot of points. He used some of my one-liners where I'm like
Emily,
Emily and Chris. But then I was like at one point, oh, there's a Lego space problem, and I'm not talking about Lego space, but physical space. He used that same one-liner, and then he tells people in screenshots that I have. He's told people like, I didn't have his video side by side with mine. I was just inspired by it.
So that was the counter argument to the ChatGPT. Because if it was just a script, okay, maybe you just use ChatGPT, use an AI to help you with your script. Fine, because that thing takes everything from everybody anyways. And it's very easy to see how that can happen, right? And if that were the case, you should have just ran with that ball. But the visuals is a dead giveaway to like, no, dude, you did more than just a script. You want like picture by picture B-roll, photos or video, are either mimicking exactly what you do or using the same exact content, which in a way, I don't know if copyright can be like used with that because it's
huge gray area.
It's because it's not the same thing. If you're using your same that thing from front to end, it's straight copyright, the whole thing. But he's using parts of it and he's changing it up as like there's like a remix.
Which again, like credit to him. Like if he really thinks he could have won that court battle that I didn't want to hypothetically get into if he was even speaking truth, right? Like
he's also in a different country.
He is. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's just I'm the type of guy like I grew up in school so pure and like I would never do anything bad and like so any threat at all like I'm learning, I'm growing as a human of like, okay, I gotta like toughen up a little bit. In something like this though, there's so many things I was looking up and I think about like everything. I'm an overthinker for sure. And looking at all this stuff, I'm like, well, okay, like he said all this stuff, even though it's BS, it's a really good bluff and like, okay, I mean, whatever. I'm not trying to lose sleep over this. you can have your video. Like the main point was, and again, I appreciate you giving the platform to do this, is like we can all see what's going on. And for legal reasons, I'm going to say this is all my opinion, right? It's my opinion, it's your opinion, a lot of people's opinion. To him, he thinks he's in line with fair use. Whatever, it's not right. Like whether you are in line with fair use or anything, it's not morally right to like copy off someone's work and make it, twist it to make it your own.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I want to say.
Yeah. Again, as far as law is concerned, I'm not a lawyer. I was gonna be, but I didn't go through that.
Okay.
But that's not what I pursued after college. But copyright, it's a very specific thing, and it changes with where you are in the country, via states and or country. Does he have legal grounds to do anything? Probably not. But is it worth the time and money to do it? So I think what a lot of us were upset about is that like it looked like you were like just
rolling over
and allowing him to continue to do it to somebody else. Yeah. And if not yourself, you can do it to any one of us. But you said your piece and it was great. Like you showed evidence and it's clear as day.
It's just
like,
clear as day.
It's clear as day that it's similar, right? And a lot of us are inspired by the way other people do videos, or the way they like, because you do something, I think it works. I'm gonna try to do it myself, see if it works, and vice versa, right? We all like to kind of one up each other because although we're friends, we are also kind of competing a little bit we're competing for people's attention, right? Yeah. And a lot of us are not trying to do it in malice at all. Yeah. We're just doing just because we're trying to up the game as a community, right? And we applaud each other from when you succeed, and we feel bad when you fall. Yeah. But we all learn from where you fail, and we all learn from when you succeed. Yeah. So there's a difference between taking creativity to another level or just straight ripping somebody off. Yeah. And I'm from a world like from when I was younger, like in the dance world, like you don't copy people like immediately. Like that would be called biting, like you're copying someone. Right. Like, you get booed for doing the same move another person did. Like, what the hell is that? Yeah. Like, dude, no, be original.
Great point. Right? Yeah.
So that's why with I can't do well with the TikTok trends or the Insta trends. I don't do well with that because it's like I'm using the same thing. Same. It just feels weird. I want to be as original as I can, and that's why my reels, my shorts, I completely do something. Yeah. That's no one's.
Dude, on that point though, it's such a struggle. I say to my creator friends all the time is like, I see these reels, like people can post just a video of a box with the sound over it and it gets like 12 million views. And then same with green screen videos, like saying we get new sets and then it's like millions of views. And I can't do that. Like just like you, it's nothing against them. It's just like I feel like I can't because other people are doing it. It's just a waste of my time because I just want to spend it like creating something. Again, that sounds horrible. I'm not like
you want to be as true original as you can be.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Just for my own mind's sake. But it's fascinating looking at people using Instagram, and just posting like 3-second reels with like a sound and it blows up. And it's like, I know what I should be doing. Like that's what I should be doing to get followers.
That's what everybody should be doing.
I know, but it's the struggle of like, is that what I want to do though? But then it's good for business. I don't know.
No, I get it. Like there are some things I enjoy the trend. Like it's funny. Will I be doing it? No. Yeah. But I still enjoy people doing it. Yeah. However they want to take it. But being original is, something to be proud of, right? You were the first one to do this. Like, I did a full thing where FOMO, like, that was a topic of my thing. I've discussed this. It's not a topic that no one else has done. Yeah. But you did it your own way. Right. But he took elements from it that is eerily similar, if not the exact same thing.
And from what I've read from emails from like that he sent me or screenshots from DMs that he sent people, it's like, yes, he did talk about his own experience with Lego, like all the credit to you, I'm not taking that away. The things I talked about like FOMO or just being an adult in the Lego space is not new. Like that's not what I'm frustrated about, but you didn't credit me. This whole thing could have been resolved if like in the video was like, hey guys, shout out to Brickmaster Harri. This was like inspired by his video. I'm just inspired. Here you go. I still would have been like a little peeved that, okay, it sounds like mine, but at least you gave me credit. You told people, go check out my channel.
Fine. Yeah, you would have thought nothing of it. You would have been a little bit off-putted, but it would have been resolved and you wouldn't have done nothing of it. So crediting other people, I think that's kind of a more newer thing within the Lego content creator space. Because I remember like just 2 years ago, Chicago. Like when Chicago was first started to get a little
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say, right? Yeah. The mockers were pissed that a lot of people were getting a lot of views for filming their mocks with no credit, right? So, and now that's like a thing. Like now we've learned, give credit, right? So maybe this is in a lesson for not that individual, but everyone else. Like if you're going to be inspired by someone, taking someone's idea, because even like Michael's brought it up, like, when TD did something, he was going to do something similar. So he went out of his way to message him and be like, hey, I have a video that's somewhat similar. Yeah. It's you know, I'm not. It was just coming at the right time.
To a large creator.
To a large
like
creator. He went up one.
Yeah.
And then like Tyler was cool about it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I appreciate it. Whatever. I'm looking forward to the video. Like just having that respect enough for your peers it goes a long way, because inevitably we're going to run into each other, right? Or you're going to run into maybe someone in their community is going to run up to you. The last thing you want is someone to blast you. Yeah. Like out in public. No, you want to have a good rapport with everyone that you come across. And who knows, you might go to UK one day, you might come here one day in the US, and you might bump into each other. It's the first thing you want to like have animosity, especially when there's tension and we all feel it. And we're like, oh, I mean, drama's drama. I'm going to watch this. Yeah. But like, you don't want that. Yeah.
And I'm a peaceful guy. Like I don't ever want to have like beef with anyone. So even with him, it's like if I ever see Jedi bricks out in the public, it's like I'm not gonna like start anything. I'm not gonna be like, bro, you did this. But it's frustrating to see, like, I was happy when he emailed me being like, yo man, like, you made the right choice. Like, it's fine. I'm like, whatever. At least you're done like getting on me and like trying to threaten me with all this legal stuff, and then he turns it back another 8 days later, like, bro, your lack of or your silence says so many other things. Like you didn't.
I mean,
say
it does.
It does. And I'm like, whatever. Like I don't care. Yeah. But that email just puts me off again. And I'm like, bro, are you really still thinking about me? Like that. Just get off of it.
You won, dude. Who cares?
Yeah. Exactly. Like you win. You won. I'm sorry.
No. You won.
Oh well. Okay. I win in the terms of like the public eye. Yeah. We really see what like his content is now, or a lot of it. He does make some original stuff like leaks or whatever, so credit to him on that. But some videos, there's multiple creators who reached out and were like, oh, this guy's taken my ideas, taken like scripts, taken videos from the other content creators shared, and now it's like my thing. So multiple run-ins. If this was a first-time thing, I'd be mad, but still I'd reach out to him. But since I've reached out to him about other things in the past, and he's been so angry with me and called out like Brittany even in the past, it's like I just blocked him. Like no need to talk to him.
No need to bring up Brittany at all.
No need to bring up Brittany at all. Yeah. Only I can do that.
Dude, but saying the OF part, I know, that's a fist to the face.
Yeah, it was pretty out there. I'm like, why is he saying stuff to other people like that? Like,
yeah, it's not appropriate.
But at the end of the day, like you said, I don't want like beef or anything like that. I'm just trying to live.
I want the beef.
I know you want it. I like seeing the drama. I don't like actually being in it, And like I said at the beginning of this, it's like it was kind of funny at the beginning, like, oh, yeah, it was funny. Cool, this guy, like, it's something for me to talk about. Yeah. But then it's like when it got like serious, he was telling people, and people were sending me screenshots being like, send this to Harri. It's war. Like he doesn't know what he doesn't know what he's done now. Like I'm going to do everything I can. Like I believe that what you put into the world, you're getting out, and he's just messing with karma right now. And I'm like, dude,
what?
I'm like, what?
What?
And you could see it's like all these things. Basically every hour of that day, it was all 1 day period since I copy striked his video. He was like threatening me to other people. I'm like, what is this guy capable of? And it's a lot of talk. But in the same, sentence, like I overthink things, and I'm like, I just don't want to think about it. Like whatever.
I get not wanting to be confrontational. Like in my 20s, like I wouldn't take that type of disrespect, and it would lead to bad places, right? And luckily, I've grown out of that. Thankfully for my children, where I'm more likely to kind of just not necessarily roll over in a stance. It's just I don't want to deal with you. Like you're a waste of my time. Like going either if that being the end of my fist or the end of a legal mumbo jumbo, you're a waste of money and time. Yeah. Like thank you, but you lost my respect. And I think in the end of the day, respect is a lot of things, right? And he pretty much lost it with a lot of creators and a lot of their own communities. So, because that extends way more than just the person that's sharing the story. Like here, even though this is a minute audience within my own community, a lot of people that are going to see this. Yeah. And then that's gonna be that dude's reputation. Yeah. And that's not a good thing. Yeah. And he should just took his licks.
And it's like I'm not like, we're not exaggerating this at all. Like I everything I've said is either a summary of something he's texted someone. It's like I'm just speaking facts. So I'm not trying to bring him down intentionally. It's just like, bro, like you've done this to yourself. I'm just sharing what I've experienced through this.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
Well, do you know what was the ones before, like outside? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. Well, okay. Like I know.
Because if people wanted to find them.
Sure. Well, so I know one of them, I won't say the creator, but...
the idea.
Well, no, like one where he straight up took the short from someone, sped it up twice, put his own, like voiceover and then said in-hand set reviews, like first in hand.
Oh, like a LAN?
Yeah, basically.
poll?
It was a LAN member who posted these like early sets. It was the Rex Y-Wing, and then it was, I think, the Mandalorian sets, right? Like the bunker and stuff. So it was like 3 separate videos. 2 of them, I think he credited the creator. 1 of them, he didn't. And like I found it one day, and I was like, "What's going on?" I was posting on my private friends. You might have been on there, and I was just like, "What? This shouldn't be allowed." So I like reached out for comments, and then he like DM'd me. He DM'd like him and Caleb were talking.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was just like, bro, come on. And from that point, like I just unfollowed, and because I actually followed for a bit. Like he was on one of my lives before. He was telling me he's in the Grand Army of Brickley.
Oh yeah, Brickley's
and
Army.
you know he's still in a couple of Brickley's videos, right? So Brickley must know him better than I do. But it just is what it is. So after that, like he took down those videos, so they're not on like
So you
public
can't find
anymore
them anymore.
because I think he got in trouble
Ooh.
just by copy strikes and stuff like that. So I won't say more on that topic, but I knew that from the past, and that's why I was going to my Instagram right away, telling everyone, because it's about time. No one talked about it publicly then. All that was kind of internal, just DMs and stuff, but it was time that this guy was like talked about in the light.
Definitely pull back
Because
curtains, yeah.
you don't, creators a lot of times don't talk about it in the light because it's not worth the time. It's like, you don't want what happened to me to happen to you. It's just like, whatever. But in this case, I was like, something had to be done, and that's all I could hope is like, stuff like this comes out, people just know to look out for people like this, right? And you know, report it like to the original creators when you find stuff like that, not just him, but other people too. And from there, you know, it's in their hands to do what they want.
It's a lesson to everybody. Like you're telling everybody, like, look, this is happening.
Yeah,
don't do this. It's not cool.
Yeah,
like it's not like if you want to blow up, great. I want you to blow up. It just adds more people to the space.
Yeah.
But do your own thing. Like you can't live off other people's scripts and other people's ideas. You have to be original.
Right.
Otherwise, let's say you were to stop doing this. Where he's going to get his content from? He's going to try to find somebody else, but it's not going to match. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be consistent. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So do your best to be original. Do your best to like, oh man, be inspired. Like the whole inspire thing is great and bad at the same time because it's like a scapegoat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so mad. Like, there's so many things I want to say over here. I can't.
Well, it's like you were telling me before this, where you don't watch a lot of like castle videos other than, you know, what you make. I mean, you do, but just a lot of like original ideas. You kind of do your own thing. And same with me. It's like doing any type of art. I don't like to watch people's stuff because it's easier to create that way is when you don't. Like it's just all fresh. And by chance, like maybe you create something similar, but at least you can morally tell yourself, I had no idea he did that or they did that. Like,
I'll bring him up. Like Goldfire. Like I love his work. He's been doing great stuff with Castle for the past almost 2 years now. And he's doing really well. And like I can see what he's doing in his thumbnails, like and the title, like exactly what the video is going to be about. And he does a great job with that. So when it's always something that like might mimic to something that I already have planned, I don't watch it. And sorry, Goldfire, like I'm not trying to like not watch your stuff. Is that I respect you enough to not want to like copy anything that you're doing. Right. And I think that's a lot of things that a lot of people just don't understand is respect, right? It's just like if you spat on someone's face, you think they'll get mad at you, right? Like it's in an age where a lot of the stuff is being done online. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. There's a lot of trolls, a lot of things that people just won't do to your face. Yeah, and there's also a lack of like empathy. Like you wouldn't ever bring up my lady in your mouth. In a conversation, in a negatory light, in person. Like you just wouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you wouldn't do that. Like he's openly doing it for everybody to see, even if it's in a DM like that. When it's being shared, I'm very careful with what I say via text. Like if it can be used or taken out of context or like shared to somebody else. Like I don't say it because if I have a problem with you, I'll tell you to your face. Right. If I have something to say about you, I'll tell you to your face. If you have something to say about somebody else, I don't say anything. I just accept what you tell me. And then if it's not like pressing, like if it's not dangerous, then it's not my business to talk about. Right. So that's between you two. You two deal with it yourselves. And it is what it is. Like I've learned that through years of just knowing what I say can hurt somebody. Right. And what you say can hurt me. It's just so funny about all the things that I grew up like surviving off of. That's not here in this space. And it's sad to see other creators who you have great potential with how they edit, with what they talk about, not giving credit where credit's due and completely like, you got caught. Just own it, right? Just own it. My bad. Move on. Keep a good rapport.
But the other thing is like when people say, me or anyone else in the community has made it somewhere just because either they have like tons of money or because they're in LAN or because they have a girlfriend to make videos about, and like I don't have that, so you're privileged in that sense, right? That just gets on my nerves too, because like I've worked hard to, I've always had a job. Like I've always.
You're not rich. I'm in your house.
You're not rich. I'm not like rich. Like I know for a fact, even like I want to provide my kids like the richest experience, although with good work ethic and good morals, right? But I want to be able to like have a good life with my kids, right? So same my parents want to do for me, but everything here is like I've bought that, or it's like I've worked for it, worked hard to. Again, like appreciate land, like congratulations for you getting into land. Yeah. I don't want that being my identity, but yeah, it is like what it is. And I felt like I could bring something to it. That's a whole different conversation. So anyways, like those comments probably get me more than the copyright stuff. Just the comments of like the lack of respect for like what I've built, my channel.
Yeah, people don't know that too. Yeah. Right. The audience won't know what you've gone through, right? You have to actually physically say it. Yeah. You have to like purposely say it. Yeah. And it's always like a gamble of how you say it, because it could be taken in so many different ways and you don't know. Like just saying you're privileged right here, that can be taken in so many negative lights. Yeah. Right.
And in the same sense though, like I understand, like I'm privileged compared to a lot of people in America, in the world, like 100% I know that. But in the creation space, like my channel, just my channel sense, like I've built that, like
you earned
nothing's
it.
handed.
You earned this. You eurned coming to land. You earned what you have here. You earned your living. Yeah. And you did it on your phone.
I know. Everything's on my phone. I need a new camera. My word. Yeah.
Hey, which again comes to show you don't need all this to be big anywhere, right?
Oh my word. That's your biggest advice that I've always taken through all the podcasts is like people always ask me what I should get, what stuff. And it's like, hey, just do it on your phone,
Well, because the going, I guess we'll take it to a little bit of a tangent if we can go back, is that you get a lot of skills just doing it on your phone. Yep. Right. And I seen that you're editing on your laptop, which is great.
Long form on the laptop.
Yeah, long form, but it's iMovie.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Final Cut. I'm going to Final Cut. I'm getting a new computer, a MacBook Pro, and then getting Final Cut.
Yeah, I need to upgrade.
I'm doing it.
Every time I see you show your work, I'm like, he's capable of so much more. I know. But for what you're doing, like it's not like when you do your long form, it's not like fast paced.
It's commentary.
It's commentary, and it's easy. Like that's not easy. I kind of say it
compared to everything else.
Yeah. It's simple. So you don't really need all the like mumbo jumbo and all the special effects stuff you can do in Final Cut, so it works. Yeah. I mean, Ryan still works off of iMovie, I think. Yeah, he doesn't do Final Cut. Wow. He publicly said he doesn't need
and what is he at now, like 650?
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Yeah. So, but I think it's still a good skill to have. Like you always want to be, learn more.
Learning and upgrading.
Upgrading, just so that way you can be the best of what you can be. And I think starting off on a phone is great because you learn how to do everything else. Before tech. Yeah. Like you learn how to speak, talk, edit, like the basic things, and then you master that, and then you upgrade.
And why you need certain things too. Like because now I'm realizing, I need Final Cut to do certain transitions or to add animation.
And you're not working off of CapCut. Yeah. Like that type of stuff. Yeah. Like you can physically do it. You could do the edits that they do on CapCut on your own from scratch. And that's always a good thing. Like if you're doing a thumbnail off Adobe, Photoshop, like knowing how to do that without using apps is a skill that can take you far beyond just this. Like if you wanted to apply it to like out there for any reason, like if you get a contract gig on the side that pays real stupid money, you already know how to do the work. You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's a good skill to learn. So why not challenge yourself? And it only makes your stuff better anyways. Yeah. That's good that you're taking Final Cut Pro. I mean, it's once you start playing with it, it gets a lot easier.
Yeah, and I've used Final Cut in the past. It's just iMovie it's simple. It's comfy. It's comfy and like it's whatever. But that's why I'm learning with my content, like, commentary only takes you so far. Shorts are good. Like shorts will grow the channel, but it's nothing money-wise. And then long form is good. So it's like my next step in life is moving out of this room, probably within the next like couple months here. And to where, I'm not sure yet. It's a couple different places. But wherever I go, it's going to definitely allow me to upgrade my content.
You live in Cali.
Yeah, well, I know. It's a long thing. That's for a different day.
Everyone just left Michael and I.
I know. We just said Michael's not leaving, but now it's like I might be leaving. Yeah.
Lame. You need to go visit him then before you bounce.
I should. I really should. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're going to be great. Like in the long run. Thanks. Like, I think you already established yourself enough amongst the creators. You have your own audience that respects you enough to tell you when something bad is happening. I think that's a big tell, right? When you have other people that are not just creators, but like people within your own community coming up and be like, hey, this guy's doing this. Like, I'm going to use Ryan again because I think M&R is like the perfect example for how strong his community is, right?
Oh yeah.
And speaking, now I could say it, speaking for someone in Zinlan, he has a very resourceful community.
Yeah.
Right. That will do everything that will help him. He doesn't have to go out of his way to be like, does anybody, I mean, he does sometimes, but like, he doesn't have to. People will openly be like, hey, I have this. Can you, can you want me to send you this?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't buy that.
Yeah.
That is like earned. That is like, that's the level of respect that his community has for him. And
so sick.
Just to have a loyal following like that, I think is worth way more than having millions and millions of people like subscribe to you, just watching what you do. You know
for sure. For sure. Yeah. And like the videos he's allowed to post and able to post, even his vlogs, like his vlogs get more views than my regular videos do. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. I mean, respect. Like that is a channel that's built. Like, when did he start? Like,
I mean, he was a kid.
Yeah, that's insane. That's so cool.
He's had a loyal following since he was young. So this audience has grown up with him.
Yeah.
And it's fun to see all these people like when I'm on the aisle of like the Target aisle or I'm at the Lego store, his name get brought up. Like I get a little, I always get happy like hearing it. I get happy when anyone get brought up.
Wow.
Get brought up, but him more than anybody else. Because I always like every time I'm in Star Wars out, it doesn't happen often anymore, but it used to. Like you hear a kid talk about like, especially with the 501st battle pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always, I always heard his name being thrown out there, and I'm like, it's cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, to see someone geek out about a fellow content creator or just someone out there, it's just a good feeling. Like when people talk about Emily and Ryan, those two are the main ones that I always get a lot. I mean, that's always like, I know them. They're great people.
That's so cool.
So I think that's and I bring it back to Ryan all the time as far as the community, because no one has a stronger one than his.
Right. Yeah, because even like TD, he has millions. I mean, I don't know what his audience is like personally, but I'm assuming, you know, looking at different analytics for like how Michael's channel works or how more of those fast-paced channels, it's like more of the younger audience. So yeah, I mean, maybe they're on their mom's phones or something. And so yeah, you wonder how strong of an audience that is when it comes to like helping out with answering questions, you know, a poll or something. But Ryan's, you know, is going to be just
like if you want something done, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what a lot of us kind of want. Like you want an audience that's loyal to whatever you have to say. And you've proven that you have something like that. All these creators like just on your backside, like, come on, go, get them. And then you have your community sharing DMs and all that kind of stuff. Like, look what this dude's saying about you.
Right.
Like, I'm grateful that I have some of that too. Like, it kind of makes you go forward. Like, okay, yeah, this guy's being a dick, but I'm just keep going anyway.
It's so funny when I posted like a DM he sent me a while back, and it was still talking about Brittany, about just like me using her for content and stuff. And he was like, I don't have a girlfriend, so, you know, I have to make money another way. Yeah. Or I think he said like, I don't have a Brittany or something like that. So then after like I posted out my story, just showing like the stuff he said to me before, so many people were DMing like, no, not Brittany, like, no way, no. And I was like, whoa, okay, there's a lot of support here. Like, it was just funny.
I'm one of those people, go get him, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'll trip him for you. Come on.
Yeah.
He's walking this way. Let's go get him.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. I don't condone violence.
Yeah. Same. Again, like if I ever see him in public, I'm not like throwing hands or anything. It's just my respect for him is lower, you know, but he could earn it back. Like anyone can earn my respect back over time. Just if you're a person who, you know, does similar stuff, like
what would that be?
What do you mean? Like
how would you earn it back?
Him or anyone else doing the same type of stuff, just in terms of creators, because I would say for a lot of creators that I've talked to, we all disagree with that practice of taking something and switching up just enough to pass, right? But to earn it back, I would say, first of all, just don't do everything he's doing. Just like, don't talk about people behind their back. If you do, like, that's fine. Like, you know, we all talk about stuff, but just not like threats, you know, don't demean someone over DM or whatever, but also just your content, like just stay in your lane, like make your stuff. That's fine. Don't do it again, right? And over time, it would probably take like a couple years of seeing like, oh, look, you know, like
he's done his own
this
thing.
person has done his own thing, has grown. Good for him. Like, I'll be happy for him,
Yeah.
you know, but if I'm scrolling through and it's like a couple videos and I'm like, oh, it's again, using other people's stuff, the respect will stay there,
Yeah.
you know?
So
Yeah.
Well, what would you recommend for people that are making content right now, our fellow, you know, our peers, and or people that are trying to do the same thing? Like, it's right now, the Lego community online is so saturated. There's so much content out there. Everyone's doing their own things. It's very kind of hard to be original, right?
True.
So, what do you recommend to like how would you navigate this space without copying somebody?
Well, what I would do is like basically what we said. The best practice is like don't unfortunately, if you really want to be a good creator, and because it all depends on your morals of like what you think is right. Because if I copied if I copied someone's work, like one of your castle videos, I just did the same thing. You know, I switched up the script, but it's your same idea, but say it's a really original idea. I used it. Internally, I would be like, well, I know I could do it. Like, it's legal, it's fine. But I would be like, you know, that's not original. I'm not like super proud of it. It's not my thing. Opposed to if I didn't watch your video, but I still did the same thing. And then I find out, oh, okay, he did this earlier, but it's like, I can go to sleep at night. Like, it's fine. You know I did that truthfully, right? So just, I mean, to turn that into some type of advice is like, I guess, be careful what you watch. Like, if you want to create something original, just create something original. And then if you're trying to find inspiration from it, like
credit.
Yeah. I mean, it's that simple. And especially with AI nowadays too, like there's no way you're not going to run into someone else doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's just no way anymore.
Yeah.
So
like what I like to do is like, if I like the opportunity of crediting people, I just like giving my friends shout outs all the time, just cause it's fun. Yeah. But like when I think it's something similar, I know for a fact I'm influenced, but I just say it like, hey, shout out to blah, blah, blah. I'll just say Sans. So shout out to Sans, he did this, and I'm like, oh, dude, I got really cool, and I did the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It's cool. It's great. Yeah. Like you're giving credit. Yeah. You're telling that your work is original and it's also inspired by it. It covers so many things and alleviates so much like headache that you don't need.
And if you're not feeling the headache, or like if you don't credit and you're not feeling like sad going to sleep at night, you took something from someone else and you're going to bed like, it's fine, like it's my video, you got a problem. Like that is a problem, right?
You're one cold dude.
Yeah,
man.
like come on, that's something you got to change.
Yeah. So again, so how do we tell people like how to be original?
I don't,
because if you type in an idea, just type it on YouTube, see if the idea comes up.
Yeah, you could do that. I will sometimes do that. Like I'll look up my title and be like, is this used? I don't want it to be the same exact thing. And I do that more for like, you don't want to be close to someone's video because then it's like your video is going to be brought up next to theirs. You don't want that. They could click their other person's video.
Or you do actually.
Or yeah. So I'm just saying like, you kind of want to avoid not being original. So it's like, just be original. Like, and it sounds like crazy advice because it's just be original, but don't think, just do it. If you have an idea, write it down. And I would say it's like, if it's your idea, you don't have to look it up. You don't have to make sure someone's done it before. I mean, what do you think? Because this, like, if I came up with an idea of, if I was just into the Lego space, if I just got in and I'm like, I'm trying to think of something that's really niche. Because
modular.
Okay. So take modular though, but say Claire, she turns modulars into smaller buildings. Okay, so say it's like, I just get into Lego, I want to make something, I have pieces in front of me, I'm like, cool, I'll make this smaller. The title's different, a script's totally different, whatever, but the concept is the same. I wouldn't credit Claire because I had no idea she did it. Like, I don't know the community, it's just I did it. Afterwards, people are like, this looks like Claire's, and I'll be like, I had no idea, but I guess, sure, I'll put in the comments, whatever, like, shout out to her, she did it first. That's the extent I would go to. I wouldn't take it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a very niche, nuanced thing, but...
So what I was getting at towards that was a good practice, though, to when you have an idea, because, I mean, inevitably, we all want to grow, right? And sometimes the idea you have isn't enough for people to want to find.
True.
Right? So if when I say modular video, if you make a modular video in March, right, it's not going to do as good as it does in December, or December and now November, right? That's when it's going to do the best in January. So it is good to check sometimes to see if it's going to do, or I guess give you a more realistic expectation of how a video is going to do.
Okay,
right?
Sure.
I guess that's the better answer. I mean, maybe is doing it after you make the video and see, okay, is there a probability that people are going to search for this topic, right? Because the AFOL thing works is because we're all AFOLs.
Yeah.
So it resonates with everybody. Yeah. So just by saying AFOL on Google, a lot of things are going to pop up.
True.
Now, at that point, it comes to your title and your thumbnail. But when you're going somewhere niche enough, like a Brickmania Sherman tank, right? Yeah. Like, okay, that's a very specific audience, but there's already 50 million people that's typed it in. Could it work in your benefit? Yeah, maybe, because people have typed it in, or it could just completely tank.
True.
So there is a balance out there by checking like what you should be doing.
But you're saying more in terms of like how to make good content, right? Because like that, I wouldn't say that's more about being original. My biggest advice to people, whenever people ask like how to do this, or like how to get into land or do this, just like make content you like, and that's the fact of the matter.
That's it.
Like, don't be turned off to, because I would argue is like, if they look up something super niche, right, even though maybe not enough people click on it, just do it. and you'll learn from it, you know, because then you'll see.
Try to do it better.
Yeah, well, try to do it better, or you'll see like, this didn't get as many good views as I wanted it to, so I'm just going to switch up. Because at one point, you're either a Lego creator who just likes making content about your favorite Lego, or you're a YouTube creator who wants to get the best views.
There you go. That's what I was trying to get out of you.
That's a good...
Yeah. So there is a difference there. There's a big difference there. Because if you're just doing it for fun and passion, like myself, like I do it because I love it. But there's also a piece of me I'm like, well, if I'm going to do it, I want to at least do it right. You know what I mean? At least have people at least watch 50% of the video versus 5% of the video.
Right.
So there is a little bit of that game where you have to think like a YouTuber.
True.
And like with the tools that are out now, with like stuff like ChatGPT, all these apps that you can take from the internet, that AI is taking it from somewhere. So you have to be mindful of where it's taking it from. And if you're depending upon AI to do stuff for you, at this point, it's too early in the game to be completely original from a computer's mind.
Right.
It's taking stuff from Google, from other places like that.
Yeah.
So that's why when in the original thought process in the beginning of this, when he did that to you, I just immediately thought ChatGPT. Immediately. I'm like, oh, he just typed in this topic and it wrote a whole script for him and he took it. But when he took it to another level by looking at what the B-roll photos were and the footage, I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried to defend you, bro. Yeah. But like it's
the pictures really sold it.
Yeah, the Emily,
like,
the Brixie, it was too much. It was funny.
Yeah. And he claims he didn't have my video open while he's editing. I'm like, bro. I mean, over the quote, maybe the quote said. Yeah.
I hope he, listens. Because like that's another thing that I personally want is that I want the respect not only from my own community, but from other content creators. Yeah. Like I want you to be like, hey, Shy, you did a good job. Yeah. Or Shy, that sucked. Like, okay, oh my bad, I should have done better. But like that rapport amongst your peers, that goes a long way. And then if you want to survive here, because like we're all on the same grind. True. Then you need help. Yeah. Whether that be help when collabing or help just advice. Like you want to be able to like, hey, Harry, like, dude, I'm sucking at this. Can you help me make a better thumbnail? What's a better hook?
Dude, that's been me. Like, shout out to everyone we've been talking about. Like, I'm reaching out to everyone, be like, guys, help me out. You know, and I feel like I'm getting annoying at this point but I'm like, you know what? We are our coworkers, basically. That's what Caleb said is like, we are coworkers in the space and like we help each other, but also, it's competitive. So play your cards close to your chest, but give your help where you can. So it's interesting.
Luckily for a lot of us, we all kind of do different things. Yeah. We want to stick out in our own way, and a lot of us are doing a great job with our own specific personalities where you can definitely tell that this is a Caleb video, this is a Michael video, this is a Claire video, this is an Emily video, this is a Brixie video. This is like, we do our things differently. Yeah. But there are like instances when you put the YouTube card that like, okay, is this a better thumbnail or is it not? Do I do this split screen? Do I not? Like for example, why I attribute Caleb's, I'm using Caleb as an example because I'm thinking about him. When I use Firebird's thumbnail in my mind, it's the black highlight. Oh, okay. Like he did it like early, like before a lot of people did. And it works. When I see that background, like instead of the white highlight, he did the dark black highlight, and I love it. Like it's very simple.
I just think of the orange and blue, but you're going deeper.
I go deeper. At the time when he started doing that, it was just the white highlight. And it makes sense. It pops out and it sticks out. So I attribute that to him. When I see other people doing it, I'm like, Caleb did it. Yeah. But that's great because that means what he's doing is working. Yeah. And he could sleep at night knowing that I inspired a bunch of people to do something that works. Right. Like, the split screen, like I can't do it just because when I look at it online, it all looks the same. But it works. And if it works, do it.
Sometimes. For me, it does not work.
It doesn't work for me. Yeah. But like, I think it also plays with what you're talking about and what it is. And your audience, if it's not young, they're not going to click it anyways.
That's a good point.
Right? So like if that's what your audience mainly is, they're going to click on all videos that look like that. And do we want that kind of? Yeah, to an extent, because that means it's guaranteed views. But do you want that community, or do you want one that's more loyal to you, to whatever you post? Right. So that's just that kind of gamble. Thinking the YouTube card, that's that route. It's cool to see people like create something unique, and then people are inspired and doing it their own way. Like, but that's not ripping off Caleb, right? No, it's not. Like it's inspired by him. And like if you make a similar thumbnail, and I watch you, and you're building the same exact ice planet mech, like in the same exact way, using the same script, and be like, okay, dude, that's not cool. Do something else. Right. Or somewhere in that video, I better hear Firebird's name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whether that's at the very end or in the very beginning, it behoove you to say it closer toward the beginning, but it will just eliminate so much.
Like it will. It's not going to be perfect. Like Caleb would still look at that and be like, "Come on, it's my video."
Yeah.
But it's still. It's like, okay, at least he's human. At least he acknowledges that this video is like mine.
Because in legal ways, it could be a parody, and if he goes in that route, he's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like not Caleb, but whoever is doing it.
Yes.
Because you're doing a parody of it, right?
True.
You're damn, I just kind of gave a scapegoat to a lot of people. But it still highlights the other person, because then it's like he's trying to be Caleb.
Yeah. And then you want to see the original video and you're like, okay, let's go look up Caleb's video.
Like, oh yeah, that's definitely Caleb.
Yeah.
But like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. But I mean, in essence, like being original is a very hard thing, especially in these days. I'm sorry this happened to you, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I hope he learns based on what I just saw recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. After 8 days, like, could have left it, but brought it back up over email. Yeah.
So then, what? Aside from this mumbo jumbo, what are you looking forward to going forward?
I mean, man, like I'm in the biggest.
You're moving.
Yeah. Well, it's just that this whole thing got brought up. It's a big thing because I live with my parents right now, and I'm in my childhood home. But there's big talk of like, are they moving away to somewhere? And then it's like, well, okay, am I going to move with Brittany? Like, because we're going to get engaged here soon. I just made a fake parody video of like getting engaged.
Yeah, dude, that was so messed up. I was like, no way, he did it. And they're like, no, would you go Lego?
Oh my gosh.
Or bricks with me, whatever it is.
Yeah. That was good. So that wasn't my official.
I was angry at that.
I know. I was like, is this bad? It's a little clickbaity, but it's funny.
Oh, that was hardcore clickbaity.
It was. But again, it's like, it's just funny because it's so harmless. It's just like like what was funny about that is everyone wants the best for me and like, oh, congrats. I got a ton of congrats because people didn't stay till the very end. They're just like, whatever. But anyways, I
had my hunch. I'm like, this fool.
It will happen eventually, but like for real, you know? And then once that happens, like we're moving away. So I'm just not going to stay in California. It's too expensive. You know, I can't do it. So anyways, all that is on the table for me. And then it's like, I want to kind of expand my, not just Star Wars, although that is my favorite. It's like, I think the best way forward is like expanding to just different themes and stuff, you know? Shout out to Emily.
Castle?
Castle. I mean, man, when
I wore the shirt because of you. Dude.
I know. And
I saw you post the Black Knight. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wear the shirt.
On that fact, quickly, like I got this Black Knight figure, and I knew it didn't look like, I was like, oh, it's probably a jumble of different pieces, but the same Black Knight figure. And then shout out Breaking Up Brad. He DM'd me. He's like, bro, like, yeah, cool, but it's the wrong helmet, by the way.
Yeah, it is a wrong helmet. I know. I was looking at him, I'm like, oh, that could have been worth money.
I know.
For some reason, the Black Knights from the Fortress are expensive.
Yeah. And I didn't realize it was from the Fortress. I just saw on BAM Missions, whatnot, and I bought it, and I was like, cool, Black Knight. Like, I kind of want one. So I just didn't realize the helmet at the moment, because it had all the right plumes and everything, just the wrong. So anyways, I'm going to go buy one, buy the right helmet.
Just made your helmet more, or made your knight more expensive. That's why I wore the shirt.
Yeah.
Because I got happy that you're venturing into Castle. I love Castle.
Yes.
Like it's not my main, well, I guess it is at this point, but like it's fun.
Oh, it's
that's why
so
I
awesome.
enjoy it. That's why I like, going back to gold.
Yeah.
Like I love his work.
Yeah.
But when I see something, when I see a Black Falcon in there or any other faction that I'm dealing with, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch everything else.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones ones. Oh yeah, great. I'll watch that all day because I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
So have you bought any customs yet?
No.
Oh, come on.
Well, what,
man.
custom castle or so? Nothing.
No, custom, not Lego. Like from
no.
third party Lego sources that evolve Lego.
No, I haven't. Just because I'm a huge purist. I mean, that is me. Like I grew up with pure Lego, and again, I think my personality is so. Not even. It doesn't go back to my wimpiness of being like, okay, I get called out on the internet. Like I can't. It's just. I'm purist. I'm just a simple guy. I would love to trust everyone and what people say. I would love to like fake Lego. I just can't. I can't.
K-Town Bricks is not fake Lego.
It's fake Lego.
It's not fake Lego. It complements Lego.
It does. Well, see, lights was a thing I never thought I would get into. But I would say that is a real asset to Lego. Like, I really think lights are the future, and I think they're getting way better. Over here, we can see Light My Bricks. And
is it any of these the version 2s?
the new 2.0 on R2D2. So anyways, it's like the thinnest wire. It works. So I'm just saying, like, everything's getting better. Cases are getting better. Not perfect. I'm still looking for the stands and cases, like the perfect one, because the ones I'm using are from Europe and they're just expensive. But everything's evolving. I can't do fake Lego, but I can do the Lego accessories.
I can't do fake Lego either.
Oh, okay. You're saying it's, yeah. Yeah, well... I mean, Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I just not right now. I don't have any.
I remember I don't know what you were doing, but you were with Caleb, and I messaged him. I'm like, "Yo, did he do it? Did he get it?" He's like, "Nah."
I was at Clone Army Customs.
There it is. You're at CAC, and you couldn't even buy anything.
No, I couldn't buy one. And I looked, and I was like thinking about it, but I was like, I'm not gonna. I try to live my life like simple display, simple stand. Like every other set of mine, I either give away. All my other Lego sets are in my other room. I got to figure out what to do with them because I can't justify giving a Star Destroyer away or like can't justify giving, the Onyx Cinder away, even though I can't display it. So it's just sitting in another room.
You ever think about just bringing it down and start making your own stuff?
Oh yeah, but all in my closet, like there's all my bricks. So that's when I move, like I want to expand into building because I made a building video for my Ewok thing and it did really well, like great retention, but it didn't push out past my audience because my audience is built off commentary and that's in my opinion, right? And some of my other creator friends think so too. So I'm thinking maybe make a new channel for those videos in general and then commentary stays on this and shorts. But yeah, I want to be able to get those like 200,000 view to 400,000 just off build videos eventually.
Okay, so I mean, there's a place for it. Just So you don't think you'll ever venture into customs at that point?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Sure, you're not gonna one day want one of the stained glass windows.
Okay, maybe, but figures no. Like maybe pieces. I already got some like fake pieces.
Oh, they're not fake.
They're fake.
They're Lego.
Fake pieces.
It's made by Lego, printed on top of it.
What pissed people off is I made a video with a good hook, and it was like. It was like the title, and I said like, why do Lego fans love fake sets? And I basically was referring to mocks as fake sets, but it gets people going. So I'm in that mode of being like, let's just get the most retention out of this.
You're such a YouTuber. Yeah. You're a YouTuber.
How can I max? I need retention maxing right now. But
no, I get it, man. It's your game. It's your grind. It's your full-time gig, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. Yeah, and doing good. It's like everything I wanted, and then next year, like I have financial goals, so I'm reaching it this year, probably a little past it, and then next year I'm gonna reach it. And like Brittany's family's looking at me, my family, they all support me, but I want to show them like there's.
Yeah, I get out of California.
I'm like, TD's making like millions. I swear it's fun.
So you use TD as an example.
Of course. I was like, I met these kids, and of course they're going to go with that. But in reality, I'll show them like Emily, and I'll be like, look, this is kind of like what I could be as soon as I admit that I can make that content.
Oh, so you want to like a more responsible?
Yeah, it's just
not saying that TD isn't responsible, but
no. I mean, I would love to be like TD, but it's just not me. Like I like being more personal and talking to the camera and stuff.
Face forward.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I can't. I don't do it like Emily yet, where it's like talking to the camera and stuff. Although that's where the money's at. Because more people relate to that. Yeah. I relate to, I think, Lego fans, which is, there's a cap. Yeah. Right? So I need to figure out a way to get out of that.
So you think you're going to be doing content outside of Lego one day?
No, not for a while. I don't. I love Lego, so.
You definitely need to move out of California.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know. It's just, the tax rate's too high here. It's just not. I mean, I'm fortunate to be here because, I have a career here. Like, I'm totally fine. Like, I have a living here. So this is my hobby. I can just treat it as such. Right. But if I was in the content creator game, like completely, I wouldn't be here. Yeah. Although it's good because there's not a lot of people in Southern California. We got the beach. We got a lot of things. Like I want to visit the Bricklink, not a store, but their headquarters.
Yeah, headquarters. Like to make a video. There's a lot of stuff down here, but to get out of California, you have to fly because you can't just go through the desert. It's just a tough drive.
No, it's hard. Yeah, it's a boring drive.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just excited to go wherever and then be able to just drive different states. And
well, you also have all the conventions on the other side. You have most of the creators that you're friends with are on that side. Yeah. So that has a lot to do with it. And it's kind of hard for them to come over here. Yeah. Like they'll never come here. No. Like Ryan will never drive here.
Yeah, right.
Like ever. You have to pay him a lot of money for him to drive here. It's not, he's thought of it, but like, like to have them all come here, it's a really pricey thing. Right. And to even like hang out here is a pricey thing. Yeah. Oh, like just to go out for lunch, it's like you're spending $25 on a McDonald's value meal. Oh, and while I'm on here, I want to say In-N-Out superiority rules. Like In-N-Out's better than anything. I had Culver's. I mean, well, okay, actually, wait, hold on. This is important. Are you going to move to a state without
No. Look, I don't eat red meat. So I can't say that like the burger's better, but I do know that In-N-Out, because I just get the grilled cheese with everything on it, just no patty. Yeah, I've done that. And it's really good. Yeah, and then Culver's, like even Brittany from her experience, Culver's is nothing like compared to In-N-Out. And then what's the other one in Texas?
Whataburger?
Yeah, I haven't been there.
Don't.
Yeah. Okay. But even fries, like fries, Culver's, no. Like In-N-Out's just
no. In-N-Out wins. In-N-Out wins. Like so I when my wife and I always play with moving to another state, and at this point, if we were to really just drop everything and move, it'll be Utah.
Okay.
That's where we would go. I
Nice.
mean, not for the religion aspect of it. I got to say it out loud because people are going to say it. But I just love that.
Man.
Like, if you look up like top states, right?
Yeah.
You know, like safe,
Yep.
education's good, healthcare is good,
Good
standard of living. Like, as far as pay in comparison to what you have to buy, like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Right. It does suck you can't go to a bar on Sunday, but you know that aside, they also have In-N-Out.
They do.
They have In-N-Out. See, I can't move to the Northeast.
Yeah.
There's no In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
So that's like a big. I bought my house because it's close to In-N-Out. Like
no.
Yeah, no, I swear.
Oh my God.
I swear.
See, my In-N-Out is surfing. Like, I want to be next to the coast or a lake where like I can eventually get a boat or have a friend that has a boat.
So a lake will do it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna miss that Pacific Ocean.
Oh, I definitely will. But then again, there's wave pools that are coming up all over the place.
That's true. It's
yeah,
not the same.
And then I mean, it's not the same.
Yeah, no jellyfish or sharks.
I know. There's no fear in it, but yeah, no, it's possible. So it's just there's a lot like to look forward to in my life, and also I say this to Brittany and her family because I'm like, look, all the most popular creators right now are all like 27 to like 30s, right? I'm 23, so by the time you guys are like all older and like too old to relate to, like I'm taking over.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the chest right there. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the chest. Because that's a thing.
It is a thing.
Like that's the thing. Like your audience is they're gonna relate to because you're young,
Right.
And like it's kind of hard for me to grab anybody that's my age.
Yeah.
Right. So you know that's a problem for all of us to inevitably have. Like, are you 85 and are people gonna be watching what you think about this Lego set? Probably not.
Right.
Like they're gonna be like. Only us are going to be paying. This is going to be interesting next 20 years to see how this goes.
There's a time window. I mean, I don't like to think so, but there is, you know, like
there are some big YouTubers that are pretty old.
No, they are, but I'm saying Lego specifically, like, I don't know. Again, I think about Emily's type of content. If I were to start doing that, right, you can't be 80 doing that. And she, like on your podcast, she brought up a good point of saying like the 7-year period until you got to switch things up a little bit. That's perfect. You know, it could still be Lego, but I don't think, you know, the content style would have to switch up the more older you get.
Yeah, because like we're not going to want to watch the fast click every like 2 seconds.
But even same with mine, a commentary. If I'm like 40 or 50 doing a commentary, it's going to come off like really boring. Like where I can't imagine where people's attention spans are going to be. Oh my goodness.
It's bad.
Bro.
It's horrible. I call out my own friends when it's bad. Like in life. I'm like, hey, get off your phone, dude.
I know. And I'm there. Like my hours on my phone are so bad.
Well, you also work from your phone, so does that really count?
No, it's true.
How much time is it death scrolling?
Yeah. I do that. I'm just like from here to the bathroom, I'm just like scroll. But some of them I am like, oh, interesting. Like this is work. And my parents downstairs, like I come down this morning and they're like, yeah, we were just talking about how much you're working. Like you're working a lot. It's like, yeah. I am.
You're death scrolling.
Right. And I feel guilty. So
I think we're all coming to a point where like we know this is bad, and it's like we need to do something about it. Like purposely try to not. I know California, right? I don't like to bring up politics, but like they are making a point in the schools that cell phones can't be a thing.
I just saw that.
Yeah,
dude. I don't know
why it took this long.
Well, do you think that's going to stay though? Like Newsom's doing a lot of stuff that the homeless thing, just kick all the homeless.
I think
out.
that was too convenient.
I'm just like, what? Where are these guys going to go? And then it's convenient. Like you're pulling all this. Like I love that. But it's like, why did you just do that? Like you're saying, like, why did you just decide?
You wanted the VP ticket.
I think so. Yeah.
But no, well, damn.
I know we
brought up a politics thing here. As far as the homeless thing, it's a problem. I stopped seeing the homeless in my area because they enacted LA.
I hear you say that.
Yeah, I don't see homeless.
Way, really?
Well, because I live near schools and churches and parks.
That's right.
They can't be there. So when there was shelters in place, they were everywhere. I'm like, I can't go to these guys. But because they enacted that rule, they have to be a certain amount of time, like places away. And because I live near all those things, you don't see homeless. Like you'll see them like maybe panhandling, but you won't see them live there.
Right.
So I'm grateful for that. But I know just kicking them all out as a homeowner and as a parent, yay. But inside, I'm like, where are these people going to go?
Yeah.
That aside,
there's no way.
Going for the cell phone thing is great.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's not the type of cell phones we have now. It was definitely like the flip phones and Nokias.
Yeah.
So we had no cell phones in the class.
Right.
Like we all had phones, like in the beginning stages of it, but it was strictly to call or text.
And you didn't feel like that was like bad, right? Because you guys just didn't have cell phones.
We just didn't have cell phones in the way you guys do now,
right.
or the kids do now, where you can really get lost.
I was in the generation, right? Like I was in the perfect generation. Like I remember when the iPad came out, I was still older. I had an iPod Touch like later in high school, and then right as I graduated, everyone was growing up with phones. So I was like right before that big, bad boom hit. So
yeah. So now that my kids are in school, I was hoping for something like this to happen, so that way they're not used to it. Like,
Smart.
you come to class, your phone's down. Like in college, right? I mean, I went to college late because I kind of did it in the Marine Corps first, and then I went to college afterwards, and it was like the beginning of the iPhone age, like the early 2000 teens. So there was the iPhone that we have now, kind of, but it wasn't what I had in high school, and it was always a thing. Like, you put your phone away, put it on vibrate, or you turn it off. That was like the first thing. That's
and it's like a respect thing too. I feel like back then I could never pull out my phone because it's just like a respect, especially if I knew all my teachers and I liked my teachers, and like if they see me on my phone, like
it's bad. It's just it's disrespectful. Even if you want to bring it back to YouTube and content creation, right? When I'm watching people's streams, and then there's like 4 people on the panel, and I see one of them like venture off topic and look at their phones, like it's noticeable. Like, I notice it. Now a lot of people probably don't care, but I notice it.
No, like, and I'll sometimes like reply to a text, but I try to make it look less. I don't like just do that.
A text is different, but to like, I can see your doom scrolling. Like, I can tell you're like,
that's a whole different thing.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, for me, like even building on chat's kind of a thing, but unless you guys are just hanging out, just having fun. If you're like on a show where you're purposely talking about a topic and you need everybody's attention to kind of not only keep each other involved, but like the audience, like, I want you guys all to be there. Like, that's just me. Like, just as a professional manner, like who's presenting something. But then when I see when everyone's just kind of scrolling off, you can kind of tell where the show's going. And that's why, like, I'm happy about getting rid of the phones in class, make sure they pay attention. So I don't know.
Well, it's going to be an adjustment period for sure, though. Like,
you don't have to worry about it. You're not in school anymore.
I don't. But I think about when I have kids, like, I always think about what is it going to be like, you know?
It's scary.
It is scary, man.
No, because my wife and I talk about all the time, are we going to give them phones? Like, we don't want to.
They don't have them?
No, they're young. They're 4 and 7. They don't need them yet.
Oh, you don't have one older?
No. Yeah, 7's my oldest.
Okay.
But like, he's asking for a phone because his cousins all have phones.
Yeah.
And they're easy to. It's convenient because you want to reach out to them and you want to talk to them, and like, and I think about things that happen in schools all the time. You know, being in the United States, and then like you think about like, how am I going to reach my kids? Like, if something happens, how am I going to reach me if there's an emergency? And like, at the end of the day, it's like.
Have you thought about flip phones? You know, those are kind of coming back.
We were thinking about giving them the phone. Yeah, because you can't do anything. You just call me or not. And they're going to hate that because their friends are going to have phones, like iPhones and like Androids and stuff they can do stuff with. But with that type of access on your phone, not just being able to linger on there and be on there all day, but what you can access on there, it's a scary thing.
Oh, dude. Oh my word. I mean, don't even get me started on that. Like, and it's just so scary. I'm like, oh.
So in a way, like, we have to worry about it as creators as well, because we're playing that card, trying to keep attention, try to get attention. We want people to click, whether adult or kid. And then where you find yourself in your own moralities is what you post. As far as like made for kids or made for adults or made for families, whatever it is. I tell parents all the time, like, don't watch my stuff.
Really?
I'm not for your kids. I'm for an adult. Like, I make that perfectly clear. Go watch Emily. And I always push Emily. I always push Emily. Shout out to Emily. Because she's like the perfect one where like she's safe. I trust her. She's not gonna do anything nefarious. Like, don't watch Hive.
Oh man, Sorry, bro. I was on one of his pure rant furies the other day, and I was like, whoa,
Well, he was backing you up.
He was
backing you up, and you know I love Brandon's death. So like, but don't watch his Friday night. Don't watch his Friday night streams. But watch Good Morning Brickworld. So like, I love giving recommendations to my friends, to other people out there, and sometimes I gotta think about them like. Do I recommend you watching this content? And then it kind of makes you self-reflect on what you're posting out there too. Like, do I want my own kids watching my own stuff? I got to think about them. Like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that kind of takes it to another level of like what you post on. We went so many places with this.
Dude, no, but I mean, these are all great points. I didn't even think about that. Like my kids having a catalog to watch of me. Yeah. But thankfully, I'm, like, again, I grew up very positive. My family is very positive, like, thankfully. And it's just, I don't have any dirt, like, people can look up or any, because the digital footprint's real, too.
Oh, yeah. Once you post something, and that's why you don't write anything that can like, destroy you.
Yes. And I learned that at a very young age. Like, just always call. Like, I always call people. If I can, I'm calling.
If it's really sensitive, you just say it in person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
If you can.
Bro.
If you can, because, recording it can still be a thing, too.
Yeah. And your phone listens to you all the time for ads. Like, it's insane.
So... Again, rewinding it all back to the very beginning. God, it's 1:30. But be original. Like, do your own thing. It's okay to be inspired. It's flattering for someone to be inspired by your work. As long as you give credit where credit's due. That's also with us taking stuff from mockers. Let's give that love too. Like, there's nothing wrong with a courtesy like text, DM,
Right.
or call. Like even if they don't respond back,
Mhm.
that's just it's out there.
Yeah.
So if they were to like reach back out, like, hey, you took my work. Oh wait, he did tell me.
Right.
Like, oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
Oh, my bad. And then kind of, even if there is friction
Yeah.
for you guys, like saying I'm the one that did it first,
Mhm.
just, as long as you like as long as you are in words
Yeah.
and you communicate it right
Yeah.
and you leave it at that, cool.
Yeah.
Don't bring the ladies in here or your kids.
Right.
That's just
Families,
bad.
yeah.
Let's keep the families out of it.
Agreed.
Man.
Keep it Lego.
All right, man. So is there anything else you want to bring up, talk, say, or brag about?
I think we covered everything we could in an hour and 30, but yeah, just be creative, and I hope people are inspired by what we had to say today. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, just I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, I'm sorry your first time coming in is talking about this. I kind of want to
No.
talk about conventions a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll save it for next time. We'll
save it
talk
for next
castle
time.
and conventions.
Ah, dude. All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Stoop,
Thank you.
concerned with the views of the
All right,
Lego
man.
group, cause we're
What
the
was that?
misfit bricks.
Yeah.
That's what we
dude.
do.
Let's go.